All right, we're into week 10, big rivalry game, so I'm gonna do a podcast. We got Florida and Georgia game, which is played in Jacksonville every year at the largest outdoor cocktail party. So this one will be fun. Neutral field, doesn't matter if Georgia's 3-4, but might as well be 7-0 in my mind because these games, that's just how they are. SEC games, you never know. You really never know. So we'll see what happens. About to get this thing started here, just watching the pregame, and I'll be back in a minute. All right, Georgia won the toss, so they decided to kick to me. So we got the ball about the 40-yard line after a good return, and ended up going 60 yards and putting the first score on the board. So Florida just took the lead 7-0 on a nice route and throw by Brantley for about 7 or 8 yards to Deontay Thompson. Um, it's heated though. A lot of big hit going on so far. So probably I would definitely expect the scoring to slow down a lot here. All right, Georgia just answered back on both our first possessions. Pretty extensive drives. They just went 7 plays, 80 yards, in just over 2 minutes. So with about 3.5 to go in the first, it's 7-7. All right, we just answered back on a 2.5 minute drive or so. Same thing. I mean, geez, these SEC games have had so much scoring, which is really out of character for this conference. I'm sure the sliders have a lot to do with it too, though. Deontay Thompson just connected for another touchdown on the day. I think those are his first two touchdowns of the season. This one was for 20 yards. Um, 14-7 Florida. All right, that was a hard-nosed drive by Georgia. They had good balance in that. When they kept me up balance pretty good on the defensive side of the ball. Put a long 13-play drive together. They did up a bunch of minutes to get down about the four. We ended up holding them for a field goal. So 14-10, 6 minutes to go in the second. All right, after a crazy linebacker interception on my side of the field, it gave them real good position. They ended up capitalizing. Let's see. I think they ran it in on that one for like a maybe 6 yard touchdown run. 17-14 Georgia with about just under 4 minutes to go in this half. Wow, this is turning into an absolute shootout. Demps just broke a really big run, 63 yards for a touchdown. 21-17 Florida. Wow, after a big defensive stop right there, scoring continues. We held them pretty tight in that drive. I took a couple risks and ended up paying off. Then when we got back on offense, we started sputtering a little bit, but then I picked up on something on what they were doing on the defense, and I think I caught them in like a cover two, I think that was, and connected for a 68-yard touchdown pass. 28-17 Florida with about a minute to go in the half. Wow. Let's see. We got back, held them down, got a big sack, and there was like a second and maybe 17 or 18. Um, and what happened? Oh yeah. Uh, he threw in a double coverage on a go route. When I went to swat it away, the guy jumped up and caught it in front of me for like a 75-yard connection, which led to like a 2-yard touchdown run. So 28-24, Florida going into half here with a minute left. Wow, I just don't get these games. Some of these games are nuts. This is turning into like the Alabama game, except way crazier. I mean, simple plays are turning into big plays, and big plays are staying big plays. Let's see. I was just trying to get myself in the field goal position, so I wasn't taking too many chances. But I slipped in, slipped out in coverage and found a hole, connected for like a 80-yard touchdown pass. So Florida's up 35-24. As I've said the last 3 times going in a half, but this 40 seconds could produce another score the way this game's going. If the first half wasn't any crazier, the second half, who knows how this game's going to end? My goodness. I feel like I'm playing a Pac-10 game, not an SEC game. It's 35-31 Florida. Georgia just answered with a couple big passing plays of their own to march right down with like 1 minute into the third quarter. So 35-31 Florida. What do you know? The defense, I mean, seriously, I honestly think that with like 4 minutes to go, Florida just scored, by the way, to go up 42-31. With 4 minutes to go in the third, I think there's been one defensive stop, and it was the stop I had on Georgia when it was, I think, 14-10 at the time, something in that area. It was like maybe the third or fourth possession that Georgia had. I stopped them. I haven't punted. I had the turnover, but there hasn't been a turnover on. Shit, that is unbelievable. Nope, I don't even think there's a punt in this game. I gotta check the stats, but so far in this crazy game, it's 42-31 with 4 minutes to go in the third. As to be expected, Georgia just marches down the field effortlessly. 42-38 Florida. 2 minutes to go in the third. That was like a 9-play, um, 80 yards. Yeah, gotta be because they did a touchback. 80-yard drive. Crazy. This is so fun. I wish I could have broadcasted this game and shown it to you guys. Again, another score on a drive. Keeps this incredible game going. Florida marched down the field, but put a nice drive together. 8 plays, about 60, 70 yards. So start of the fourth quarter, first play was a field goal. So it's, I think the field goal is about 25 yards. So 45-38 Florida. Wow, that game was pretty crazy. Still not over, but the I just put an insurance touchdown in with about 2 minutes and 22 seconds to go to make it 52-38. Wow. Like I said, I wish I could have casted this game. I mean, 90 points in an SEC. I mean, granted, it's an SEC rivalry game, but for SEC teams to put up these kind of points the way the defenses play, you pretty much got to have what happened, like 1 or 2 possessions where the team actually punts the ball. I mean, it was a fun game to play, but not the kind of game I like to get myself involved in, honestly. Wow, that one came to an end. I really love the feel of these SEC rivalry games as far as the sliders are concerned, but I guess you just chalk it up to one of those things. I mean, you'll never see games like this in the SEC, and I felt like the Alabama game, which was like, I think it was 31-28 or 34-31, was a little out of hand, but man, 52-38, that is just crazy. It was fun though, but it was a little nerve-wracking at the same time. So long season to go, a lot of big games. So who knows where Florida's headed? I think we pretty much assured ourselves a bowl game. I think that was our 8th win. So maybe not. Yeah, 8 wins should get it because I guess top 5 in the SEC. Um, the bowl game. All right, I'll be back. It's probably gonna be a while. Maybe I don't think I play another big game until the South Carolina game. Um, and we'll see what happens.